when I was inside prison, 3 people killed themselves. One person killed himself due to bullying, getting bullied, and 2 other people killed themselves because they got long birds. Long bird means sentence, and they were in their teens. So I'm gonna go the one who died due to bullying after, but the 2 guys who committed suicide because they had long birds. These weren't coldies. They weren't co-defendants. They weren't on the same case, but they had a similar kind of case. Both of them were out of a group of people. There was a fight started between them, their friends, and someone else's friends, and a guy got stabbed and died, and they didn't stab. None of these 2 guys stabbed the person, but they were there with the crowd. And the actual people who stabbed the guys, yeah, they got away, and the police caught them, yeah. I think it's called joint enterprise. I don't know what it was called then, but it's like guilty by association or whatever. But anyway, these 2 guys, they got HMP, and they told me that what HMP is. This is what they said. They said HMP is where you have to do a minimum. They were 18 at the time, by the way. They were like 18, 17. And HMP is like you got to do a minimum of 20 or 25 years, and then it goes up to reviewing. Yeah, after you've done 25 years, yeah, or 20 years, it gets reviewed by the Queen. Obviously, I don't think the Queen individually looks at these different claims and see how you've been in prison and all this stuff. But basically, it goes to review, yeah, to the government or whatever. And then basically, if they decide that you'll have freedom after 20 years or 25 years, they give it. If not, you have to do another 20 or 25 years, and then it goes back to review again, which time it was probably be dead anyway. So yeah, both of these guys, they were in situations where I don't know whether they went out for the night or they was in a gang or whatever it was, but their group got in a fight with another group, and then what happened is that someone got stabbed by one of their friends, yeah, and they couldn't catch the person who actually stabbed him at the scene of the crime, but they somehow they knew they were there, and they got arrested. Now, as for the guy that killed himself due to bullying, and I'm going to explain about how people kill themselves in jail. Yeah, I'll explain after this. Yeah, but okay. This case was sad because I remember seeing this guy when he came into prison. Yeah, you know, when he was new, his first couple of weeks. Yeah, and there's a wing that a lot of people in Feltham called Osprey. It's like, I think when you're new, you go straight to Osprey. Yeah, there's a wing called Kestrel when you're going to court. I don't know if it's changed now, but there's a wing called Kestrel when you're going to court, and you stay on there a day before, a few days before you're going to court. It might be a month before, but normally go on a wing called Osprey when you first come in, before they put you on either one of the other wings like Lapwing or Partridge or not Kestrel, sorry, for court. What is it? Mallard. But these are different wings in Feltham, young offenders, yeah? That's the main jail you go to when you're under a certain age, yeah? But anyway, this guy, I remember seeing him when he came into Osprey, yeah? And you could tell it was his first time, yeah? And you could also tell that he didn't have much confidence, you know? Because the thing about jail is that it don't matter how who you are, yeah? People are going to try and take liberties with you in jail, whether you're small or whether you're big. People will always try to take liberties with you. The default position is that people are going to try and take liberties with you to see if you can get away with it. Like, a person may be big, but they go into jail and then someone will ask them for canteen or something. Canteen is basically, when you're in prison, you get your normal meal, yeah, and so forth. You get breakfast and you get lunch, yeah, and before you go to sleep, you get tea, like, yeah, whatever. But the thing is this, yeah, is that you have your normal meal and so forth. But obviously, I'm sure everyone knows, even if you be in prison, that the food ain't that nice. But what you can do, you can get like canteen, yeah. I think in America they call it commissary or whatever. And basically, your family or your friends or stuff, or if you've got your own money, yeah, you can basically it's basically there's a shop within prison where you can get toiletries, you can get like extra stuff that you won't get on the meal, like biscuits and I'm saying cakes and chocolates and fizzy drinks and all this kind of stuff. It's basically you can get treats, yeah, and so forth. So what happens is that when anyone comes into prison, generally the default position is that people are not going to respect you, and they're going to try it with you. The only way that people will generally escape that is if they're on a wing, and the majority of people that wing are a certain gang or whatever or so forth, and then the majority of people know not to won't try anything with you because you're associated with that gang or whatever. But generally, if you just come in as a normal person, people will try to take liberties with you, yeah. And if you don't stop them from taking liberties, they will keep on taking. They will not only carry on taking liberties with you, they will get worse in the liberties that they do take. So a lot of people, when they come in and when it's time to go canteen, people that have been there for time, yeah, they will approach the ones they think are weak, yeah, or they will go up to approach the new guys and they will ask them to get them stuff for canteen. If you get them stuff for canteen, then it's over. Every time canteen comes, they're gonna make you to get stuff for them. And also, whatever you have in your room, whether you've got a radio, whether you've got, I don't know, whatever you've got, they're gonna come in your room and take liberties with you. So this guy, you could just tell from his body language, from the way he was walking around with his head down on the ground, with shoulders down, head down. I don't know. He was sad, yeah. But the thing is that even if you're in prison and you're sad, you can't show it. And he just walked around with his head down, his shoulders down, and he just, yeah, you could just tell that he was going to get taken advantage of. And that's the crazy thing about prison. The crazy thing about prison is that prison, you could have someone in prison for, say you've got someone who's an addict, yeah. Now I don't I don't believe in taking drugs at all, yeah. I don't take drugs. I'm Muslim. I don't believe in drugs. All this kind of stuff. I used to smoke weed before I was Muslim. Every day. And so forth. But in prison, you've got people who are addicted to drugs who do things like shoplifting, or people in prison for parking fines and stuff, or people in prison for how can I say, for petty crimes, yeah. Like this guy, I don't know. I think he was an addict. I think this guy was an addict of something, yeah. And then basically, what happened? He must have done shoplifting, yeah, which is wrong. But the thing is that when you're in prison, you've got all types of people. So you've got people in for fines, yeah. You've got people in for shoplifting. You've got people in for You've got people in for like violent crimes, like ABH, which is minor violent crimes, yeah, and then GBH, which is ABH is actually bodily harm. That's basically that's not like, that's like punching someone in the face or something, or slapping someone, or maybe pushing someone or something. But GBH is grievous bodily harm. Maybe you hit someone with a baseball bat, maybe you stab someone, you cause like grievous bodily harm. So the point I'm trying to say is that in prison, you've got people that are in there for like shoplifting, like, I don't know, not cigarettes because they're behind the counter, but shoplifting, I don't know. Something's like, I don't know, man, like maybe food or whatever, or yeah, like maybe food or bread or this, that, and the other, or little, or just things that are not high value, yeah. And then you've got people like you've got gang members, you've got even got mentally ill people, you know. You've got people that do robberies, you know, for a living and this, that, and the other, and so forth. And that's where when you've got someone, you know, who's an addict, yeah, maybe be homeless or, you know, you know, just like life is taking them over, yeah, and so forth. And then you've got someone who likes to stab people from fun, you know, who's part of a gang or is a long-term criminal and this, that, and the other. When these two people meet, you know, when this addict and when this person, gang member or this roadman and so forth, when they meet, obviously the weak one's gonna get taken advantage from, you know. So basically, yeah, this guy, I could tell from when the first time, you know, I saw him, yeah, I could tell that, yeah, that this guy's not gonna make it, man. Because I knew by the way he was walking around, you know, that people are gonna take advantage of him. Lots of people would, because they would just see him straight away and think, yeah, this guy's weak. This guy's weak. And I'm not talking about just physically weak. I'm not talking about he wasn't a henchman. This that. I'm talking about his body language. A person could be 4 foot something or 5 foot something or this, that, and the other, and so forth, yeah, and they don't have it. They just don't have it. They're not gonna have it. Like, look, I don't care whether you're gonna with your 6 foot, like they wouldn't care if you're 6 foot, you know, 7 foot, whatever. If you try and take my stuff, if you try and take something from my room, we're going to fight. It don't matter if I lose. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if I get a black eye. Every time you try and take my stuff or you try and take me for a fool, yeah, or you, yeah, I'm gonna punch you in your face. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna stab you. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting you. Every time you try to bully me, or every time you try to take some of my stuff, yeah, you're going to get hurt, yeah. Even if I get rushed off, even if you beat me in a fight, even if you're 10 times bigger than me. But this guy, you could tell whatever someone wanted of him went up to him and bullied him about, they're gonna get it from him, you know. So what is sad when you can see that somebody is not gonna make it, and you're seeing it in slow motion, like you're seeing the guy walking, you're seeing him walk around, you know. Association is like, you're locked up for 23 hours. You're locked up for 23 hours in a day, and you're let out for one. Yeah, that's association. You can either play pool, watch TV, or just chat to the other inmates. Yeah, so basically, I could tell that this guy, yeah, he wasn't gonna make it. And it's sad when you could tell, yeah, that someone's gonna get bullied so much that they're either gonna commit suicide or they're just gonna get beat up all the time. It's sad, you know. You know. Anyway, how do people kill themselves? How do people kill themselves in jail? Okay, in jail, you don't have belts, yeah. Now the reason why you don't have belts is because belts have buckles on them, mainly. They have metal buckles, and if prisoners were allowed belts, when they're gonna fight, yeah, they're gonna take the belt and they're gonna use it. They're gonna use the belt to like hit someone in the face, like smash someone in the face with the buckle. Like they're gonna swing it around and hit them in the face with the metal part, yeah. Or they might strangle somebody, yeah. So you can't have in jail. You can't have belts because you can use the belt as a weapon, yeah. So what will you do? What you have in jail is that when you first come to prison, you're given a packing of your clothing, your bedding and stuff like that. Now you get pillowcases. Now what people do, with the pillowcase, they normally rip off the pillowcase, yeah. And because normally the sizes don't fit in jail, the trousers don't fit. So you'll just rip off the pillowcase, and what they do is they make it into like a belt. So it's like, I don't know what material it is, but basically soft. It's like, I don't know, what is it, cotton? But basically you just put it through the loops in your trousers and use that as a belt. It's not leather, it's not, you know, it's not like leather and stuff like that, but people use it. So what happens is that how people kill themselves in jail is that in Feltham, I don't know what's that now, but before they had bars for the water to travel through, yeah, and there's the windows are like obviously windows. They've got steel, but they've also got these big. What was it? Are they steel? They got these big steel things, so you can't. Basically, these big steel things, like so you can touch the window, but just basically they've got these big steel things to stop you from breaking like the window or or smashing it or whatever or so forth. But I think it's plastic anyway or something. But it's just they don't. It's just like a casing, a big strong thing. So what people would do, is the windows are quite high up, yeah. So people would stand up, yeah. They would stand up on the two water bars at the bottom, yeah. They would take their belt off, they would tie it around their neck, and they would tie it to these metal things over the window, these big metal things over the window. And then when they make sure there's no slack, they would tie it to these metal things, yeah, tie it around their neck, yeah, make sure there's no slack, there's no looseness, really tight, yeah. So it's just tense, yeah, between there's no looseness, and then they would jump off the the thing. And like basically, their feet wouldn't be touching the ground, and it would just like struggle with them until they die and so forth. And the way you can tell when someone's killed themselves is because either the person next door to them has the person screaming while they're hanging, or somehow the officers find out and then they start running, and you can hear their keys late at night, because it's normally late at night that people kill themselves and hang themselves, because they don't do it during the day because someone might stop them from actually killing themselves. If you try and hang yourself in the daytime, one, someone's going to see you trying to hang yourself because you're doing something awkward. You're standing up on a bar, you're tied something around your neck, you're tied to something else. Even if an inmate sees you, yeah, he could either try and stop you, or he's going to go, and tell someone, maybe a cleaner or something, yeah, that this guy's trying to kill himself and so forth. But yeah, man, I'm telling you these stories. The reason why I'm telling you these stories is that you don't have to make these same mistakes, yeah. If you're 17 or 19 or 18, yeah, enjoy your life, man. Don't don't hang around with people who are carrying knives and stuff like this, Also, with people who become addicts and stuff like that, don't start smoking. If you're not smoking at the moment, don't start smoking. This is a whole other video. But there's nothing, smoking cigarettes and stuff like that, there's no benefit in them. It makes your mouth smell, it makes your fingers yellow, it makes your hands yellow, you know what I'm saying? It messes up your colour of your teeth, it's bad for your health. It doesn't taste nice. There's no pluses to smoking cigarette. And as for weed, don't smoke weed. If you're not smoking weed, don't start now. Because the whole thing is that weed makes you a bum. That's a whole nother video as well. Weed makes you into a bum, and it makes you into an aggravated person. Yeah? Like, it makes you an aggravated person. Weed makes you a mean, unsociable person to be around. And people say, what are you talking about? Yes, because you smoke weed every day and you've got access to weed every day, you don't think you're a wretch because you can either you got draw, your next door neighbour's got draw, or so, like, you can always got access to it. But once there's a drought and you ain't got access to weed, yeah, and you smoke it on a daily basis, it becomes part of you. And when it's part of you and you ain't got access to it, yeah, then you become what we used to call roasting, yeah. And what happens is, it means because you ain't got you like, it becomes like oxygen, because you ain't got your nicotine in your system, yeah, because people don't smoke weed on its own, they smoke it with, everyone smokes it with nicotine because they can't afford to smoke it without that. But when you smoke weed, yeah, and you smoke it on a daily basis every day, and then there's a drought and you can't get no access to it, yeah, then because you need it, yeah, you start being irritated, you start arguing with people, you start beefing with people that are close to you, because that nicotine that's part of your body, yeah, and part of you now, you ain't got it, and it's annoying you that you can't get in your system. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do a talk about. I'm gonna do a lot more talks about obviously prison and smoking and cigarettes and weed and all these different things, because these are a lot of big mistakes that I made in my life. Before I was Muslim and so forth. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Like I said, subscribe if you like this content. Yeah, like the video. Um, and if you thought it was good, if you felt the video, then share it. If you didn't like it, then don't share it, But yeah. And if you like the program and you want the quality to improve, then support the program, yeah? The links are below. Alright, peace.